Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam Mckola, and Manchester United have lost the Super Cup final 2-1 against Real Madrid. Goals from Casemiro and Isco put Real Madrid into a 2-0 lead, a deserved 2-0 lead as well. Romelu Lukaku did get one back for Manchester United, but Manchester United couldn't push on and get an equaliser. We had opportunities from Lukaku and Marcus Rashford which were missed when they should have been scored. It looked easier to score those opportunities, and Manchester United squandered them today. Lukaku and Rashford were guilty of that, and I'm sure they will learn from it. There were positives to take for Manchester United today, but all in all, disappointing night in Macedonia, in Skopje. Real Madrid lift the Super Cup, another European trophy for them, and they've won back-to-back European Cups. So this wasn't, a poor team we were coming up against today. And Real Madrid were always favourites, but those Rashford and Lukaku misses will stick in the back of my mind, because had we had scored them, it could have been a completely different story in the UEFA Super Cup final tonight. I'm not going to lie, guys. You can probably see it in my face. I'm really, really disappointed because, look, at 2-0, I'd almost accepted that we had lost the game, which is probably a poor attitude to have as a Manchester United fan. But, I mean, we were up against a very, very good side, and it seemed like we were just going through the motions. At 2-0. Gareth Bale had cracked the crossbar, and it just felt like, it's damage limitation here. When Marouane Fellaini come on, I thought it was damage limitation. And then Marouane Fellaini come on, and it was actually a positive change for United. It swung things a little bit. And Manchester United looked a little bit better going forward. He fought well for the ball in the build-up to Romelu Lukaku's goal. And we got a goal back. But just before Romelu Lukaku's goal, he missed an absolute sitter. So did Paul Pogba, to be fair to him. It wasn't just Romelu Lukaku. Pogba's header was straight at the keeper when he should have gone either corner and scored. And Romelu Lukaku's shot, if he keeps it down, it goes in. But he skied it high and over the bar. So it was disappointing to see him do that. He did get a goal, which would probably take a little bit of the pressure off him. But I'm sure that miss will be living in his memory, and it will be living in Manchester United fans' memories as well, because it was an opportunity that should have been taken. It would have meant that United got 2 goals very quickly, and Romelu Lukaku got a brace and brought us straight back into the game. But it wasn't to be. Marcus Rashford as well, with 10 minutes to go, he went clean through on goal. We've seen him do that so many times. We've seen him do it against Manchester City when he twisted up Mckola and he scored. And this time, Keylor Navas made a save. It wasn't a great save though. Marcus Rashford had to do better, and he just didn't. It was a poor finish by Marcus Rashford. I'm sure he will learn from it. But it was poor today, and I'm really, really disappointed that we've lost this game. But look, it was a fair result. I thought Real Madrid deserved it. I thought, based on Manchester United's first half performance, when it could have been worse than 1-0, to be totally fair. But even then, we had chances as well. I thought Mkhitaryan looked bright in the first half when we did get him on the ball, but we failed to really get a hold of the ball. And Real Madrid had a lot of the possession. They dominated the ball. That midfield three for them were absolutely fantastic. And I thought Nemanja Matic, considering that he's had no pre-season, he's had just that 45 minutes against Sampdoria. He completed 90 minutes today against Real Madrid, against arguably the best midfield three in the world. And I thought he was fantastic for United today. So that was one big positive for Manchester United. The performance of Nemanja Matic. Obviously, Lukaku got a goal in his first competitive game for Manchester United, although he will be thinking, and Manchester United fans will be thinking, it should be 2. So it probably takes a little bit away from his goal. But nevertheless, he got a goal against Real Madrid in his first competitive game for the club. And you've got to take positives from that. But I just thought the first half, tactically, we looked a little bit all over the shop. I think Statman Dave made a great comment on Twitter where he said United didn't seem sure whether we were in a 5-3-2 or a 4-3-3. We had Jesse Lingard playing next to Matteo Darmian, and I didn't really know how we were playing, and maybe that was reflected across to the players as well. I mean, Jesse Lingard did come off. He came off early for Marcus Rashford, who came on at half time. Marcus Rashford looked bright. He looked good again. And he looks confident playing up against these world-class players and these world-class defenders. But that chance that he had, he should be burying those. And I'm sure, look, Marcus Rashford's a young player. Romelu Lukaku's a young player. They'll learn from these things. And I think today I wanted Manchester United to win. I hoped we would win. I even predicted we'd win on penalties. I thought it'd obviously be a difficult feat to beat Real Madrid in 90 minutes because they're a great side. And I think, although I am disappointed, I think this could kind of lay down a marker for Manchester United this season. For Jose Mourinho in the dressing room now. To say to these players, look, that is the challenge. Not in a Jose Mourinho way where you say it in the public and you say, oh, we aspire to be like Manchester City. But Real Madrid aren't Manchester City. These are back-to-back European Cup winners. These have done something that nobody's done since, obviously, the European Cup was changed to the Champions League, so in the modern era. And they're also the champions of Spain as well. United won the Europa League and finished 6th last season. So you have to take things into perspective. In terms of Jose Mourinho's Manchester United, we are in the very early stages of the development. We're at the start of our second season. Now, I don't think United fans should take anything away from what Jose Mourinho has done. And we will not come up against a side this strong in the Premier League, that is for sure. And I think there were positives to take for Manchester United today. And I'm sure we will take them. I'm sure there are negatives as well. There are loads of negatives which I've already discussed. And I'm sure we will learn from them as well. I think no Marshall today disappointed me, to be totally honest with you. But I didn't expect him to start anyway. But it was disappointing to not see him come on. I thought his pace could have done something. He showed what he could do to them in pre-season. So it was disappointing to not see him come in. Now, I am going to hit up your comments right now as well. So thank you. We've got over 1,000 people in here at the moment. Obviously, United lost 2-1 against Real Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup final. Can you get your comments in? And I'm going to read those out. But while you get your comments in, can you bang that like button? We've got 139 likes. We've got over 1,000 people in the house at the moment. That's not right. So I'm sure at least 50% of you guys, even 100% of you guys can hit that like button. So hit that like button for us now. Because remember, Full-Time Devils have got you covered throughout the whole season. This is game one. We may have had you covered throughout the preseason, but this is game one in the season, this game. And moving forward, I think it's going to be positive times for Manchester United. Someone mentioned Casemiro's goal being offside, and I think it was offside as well. The only reason I ain't making too much of it is simply because I felt that in the game, Manchester United at that point looked like we were going to go behind. It looked like a Real Madrid goal was just a matter of time. So I'm not going to speak too much about the offside decision. I thought the referee was shocking today. He was absolutely shit. And I'll say that with my chest. But I'm not going to get wound up over an offside goal, which was offside. But I'm not going to get wound up over that because at that point, Real Madrid should have scored. I mean, Casemiro cracked the bar with a header. He then had a shot which just went over. They were looking dangerous at that moment in time. So yes, it wasn't a fair goal in the terms that it should have been flagged for offside. But at the same time of saying that, you can't get too disappointed because United weren't really in the game at that point. Although some of you will say rules are rules, and that's absolutely fair. Dave Grant says Pogba was poor. He says Pogba was shit, but he means Pogba was poor. And I thought there was a few moments in the game. I thought Pogba started brightly. He had a few things where I thought, oh, Pogba and Mickey look on it today. And then he had a moment in the first half where he ran through on goal. He had Lingard going down the left with one player with him. He had Lukaku going the other way, I think. Or it might have been Mkhitaryan. But it was definitely another player going the other way. He had one centre-back in front of him. And all he had to do was slide one of those players in. And he didn't. He opted to keep running and try and have a shot. And the shot was poor and got saved. Obviously, if he scores that, everyone says, wow, that's an amazing goal. But it was poor decision-making by Paul Pogba. And I think from that moment, he still did good things in the game. I mean, there was one great run in the second half where he got brought down by Sergio Ramos. There was a few other good things, crosses into the box and that. But I think a lot of his influence was lost on the game. Then it seemed to affect him a little bit. That decision not to slide one of those players in. And look, yes, he does make mistakes in his game, but he's usually spot on with his decision making, and it was poor then. Rashad says Pogba isn't an intelligent midfielder. Fuck's sake, man. Guys, I love you lot. I say this a lot. I fucking love you lot. Yeah, you make this channel. But some of you don't half talk shit sometimes. We've just played against Real fucking Madrid, the European champions, back-to-back European champions. And some of you lot are going on like, we just played fucking Barnet. Are you like taking the piss? It was a disappointing performance. People made mistakes. Pogba was poor. Rashford should have scored. Lukaku should have scored. But fuck me, some of you like going over the top. Pogba isn't intelligent. Are you taking the piss? Is that all? Are you taking the piss is what I'm asking. Because it feels like you are taking the piss, to be totally honest with you. Fucking hell. Someone commented saying we need to improve on the crosses in the box. And I actually thought today, I think Pogba had 2 or 3. Mickey had 1 or 2. Darmian had 1. Herrera had a great cross into the box. I think there was a few crosses into the box where we found our man and it was just poor finishing. Fellaini when he smashed Sergio Ramos. He also had another chance where it was saved. Pogba's headed chance. Lukaku's headed chance. We had quite a lot of headed opportunities today. And then even we had the ball into the box which brought about Matic's shot and then Lukaku scoring. So I think, you know, we did have a few good balls into the box today. Abhishek says we need to have more chemistry. And I think that's a great point as well. We're still, you know, trying to work with this team. We're still trying to gel. We're still trying to fit all the new players in. But I think that will come. I think there's been signs that it is coming. Guys, we're close to 500 likes, so get hitting that like button. We've got over 1,100 people in at the moment. Thank you all for joining us here on Adam Mckola TV. We do appreciate you all here on Full Time Devils. Excuse me while I just look to the left. I'm trying to read your comments on the YouTube page because it's a lot easier for me than on Wirecast because they move so quickly on Wirecast. United an embarrassment apparently for losing 2-1 against the European champions. You hear something new every day. Craig Vincent points out the humidity, which would have obviously affected things as well. You can't use it as too much of an excuse, but of course it would have had a little bit of an effect on the side, so that's a good point as well. Who was my man of the match, says Ace of Spades. For Manchester United, it was Nemanja Matic, and I don't think we can look any further than Nemanja Matic for man of the match. But that's who my man of the match was for Man United. I thought he was excellent today for the Reds. Isco was quality as well. Vasquez twisted up Darmian in the second half. Oh, Jesus. One of the things he does. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, man. And then there was a tackle on him by Rashford and he went down like he'd got shot 5 times. But he wasn't breathing like 50 Cent. I'm going to crack up, you know. I swear to God I'm going to crack up. I am going to crack up. Someone just said we need a creative midfielder. Jesus wept. We've just spent £89 million on fucking Paul Pogba and £40 million on Nemanja Matic to free Paul Pogba. And now all of a sudden we need another creative midfielder. Some of you lot are so fucking knee-jerk, man. You've got to give these teams time. I mean, Manchester United have played in 4 Super Cups. We've won one of them. Do you know that? We lost the Super Cup when we were 2008 Champions League winners against Zenit St. fucking Petersburg. We lost the Super Cup when we won the European Cup in 1999 against Lazio. And now you lot are getting into a hissy fit because we've lost against Real Madrid, the European champions. Have a day off. The stream on my channel is scheduled to go up at 10:15, mate. So as soon as I'm finished here, I will be live on youtube.com/Adam Mckola. Feel free to join us over there. Lindelof was poor, says Shahid. He actually says rubbish, but again, I'm trying to be kind here. Matic was class, said somebody. We need a creative winger, says Gem TV. If Bailly was not banned, says Darkstay, he was missed today as well. Typical diving, cheating, La Liga bitches. So I got it. Let's not panic, guys. If we lose against West Ham, then panic, says Green Eyes. I don't think we'll lose against West Ham, but they could be famous last words. Anyway, guys, look, disappointing day against Real Madrid today, but I think what I'm trying to say is don't get too disheartened by this defeat. We played against the European champions. It was a disappointing day. Pogba was poor. There were other players that were poor. Lukaku's miss was poor. Rashford's miss was poor. But there were positives to take as well. And I think overall, Going into the new Premier League season, I'm quite confident for Manchester United. We will not face someone this good in the Premier League. And although I'm disappointed to lose the Super Cup, I think today you just have to accept that we lost against the better side. Even though those Lukaku and Rashford misses will live in my memory. When I go to sleep tonight, I will see Lukaku, the ball dropping to his feet and him blazing it over. I will see Rashford running through on goal and, oh man, and he'll miss again in my dream too. And it will just continue to annoy me. Anyway, guys, you've all been absolute legends. I have been Adam Mckola. We are back at Old Trafford this week. I am so fucking excited for that one. I cannot wait for the return of Premier League football. So make sure you join us throughout the week. We're going to build up to the Premier League opener. So make sure you keep joining us here on Full Time Devils. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Can we reach 500,000 subscribers by the end of the 2017-18 season? That is the target for us guys here. Anyway, I'm going to go live now over on youtube.com/Adam Mckola. So if you want some more live action from me, feel free to join us over there. If not, thank you for joining us here on Full Time Devils. We'll be back with more throughout the week. And I'll see you later.